Hello, everyone, and welcome to BTB Now. It is March 12th, 2018. I'm Ray Dunn. Nick Bogatis and Jason Cancer are both here as we prepare to give you another week of whatever it is we do here. First off, though, because it is not football season, not enough content to talk about, we got a little bit of our lives to give you about. And, of course, we're going to start with Nick.
Yeah.
Enlighten us.
Not much, honestly. A couple of snow days, obviously, and I was out in the wasteland shoveling snow. I'm officially done with the Northeast. Hashtag done, not just done. Finished, you could even say. But yeah, I'm done with that. I also coded our cryptocurrency, which is exciting. So the beta of John Coin, formerly known as Woj Coin, is officially live.
So yes, I don't know how it works, but I know I'm about to be a quadrillionaire.
I'll have to send you some after the show, by the way.
Oh, so I'm going to own some John Coin by the end of the night.
You'll have the beta version.
So I'm going to be a quadrillionaire by the end of the night.
It's not actually.
No, wait, hold on.
I'm not going to bother explaining this right now.
If there's something between the three of us, there's only a beta version.
Well, I see. I'm torn on this because I don't know if are you a big KFC radio guy?
I haven't listened since winter break, so no.
Okay, so they're striving to redefine the word beta as like a good thing, and I've always thought of myself as an alpha. But under their definition, I'm more of a beta. But their definition of beta is being so much of a beta that you're an alpha. So I'm really not sure where I fall.
Is that like a Darren Ravel type of... Like
No,
a Darren Ravel a beta by their standard?
Darren Ravel is like an actual beta, not like an alpha beta.
If you saw him getting crossed up by hot sauce, I don't think you can get more bait. It looks. I think he's like selling it. There's no way he's that uncoordinated. Like, I'm not very coordinated.
Oh no, that looked like an act.
Yeah.
A very poorly choreographed act.
That's it. Like, I think you have to be at least self-aware that you can't sell it and actually try, because I'm sure like that's something like. I understand, like, he's trying to be funny, but that's something that's not getting crossed. A white unathletic dude getting crossed up by
there was no
hot
need
sauce
to bring race into this. I was going to wait at least an hour to bring race into this. But...
It's naturally funny. Like, you don't have to try to sell
I have a genuine question arising from this. Is Darren Ravel the most unfunny person on the planet? Like someone who I should.
Does he try to be funny though? Because like
someone who. Yeah, I think he tries to be funny. Is he the least funny person that actively tries to be funny?
Sticking to sports here, politicians aside, yeah, probably him.
I mean, I have my moments where I can be pretty bad, but
yeah, but like you're talking about like a consistent brand. Like he has built a brand on simply being the most flat, unfunny person I have ever seen.
Did you see that?
You quote tweeted something. I forget. I remember.
Yeah, he tweeted. Who was it?
Oh, Wichita State versus Marshall. Marshall being the last name of the coach. Yeah,
it's the first time ever the team has gone up against a team whose name is the same as the coach's last name. Like, wow, Darren, thank you.
He also let me in the what region is this? In the South region. When they were revealing the bracket, he took a picture of the screen and he manipulated it in a way where he hid Creighton. So when you hide Creighton, the four teams that appear are all Wildcat mascots. It's Kansas State. Kansas State's the 9 seed. Kentucky's the 5. Davidson's the 12, and then Arizona's the 4. And so he took a picture of the screen where you could only see those 4 teams, and it was like first time ever where there's been 4 consecutive Wildcat mascots on the bracket.
He's such a loser. Like, do you think he knows?
Yes.
Yeah. He's self-aware.
That tweet was painfully like, I'm trying to be funny here. This is bad.
No, but does he know that he's not funny?
I think he's self-aware. I think once Pardon My Take starts making fun of you, you have to at least know something's up.
Marlins man has no clue.
Okay, that's not fair. Okay, no, but Marlins Marlins Man's different.
What do you mean Marlins Man's different?
Marlins Man and Darren Rovell are not the same type of people.
Okay, let me tell you something right here. If Darren Rovell, the man who talks business, talks brand all the time, has no idea that his brand is being unfunny, then this world might as well just collapse upon itself.
He also does work for ESPN, and ESPN's just a nightmare too. So
there was no need to take that shot right there. Really?
no, but like,
did
did I tell you? Did I give you my inside scoop on ESPN
Yes.
on the
No.
show? Oh yeah, I did it last week. I don't know if it was on the show, so I might as well tell you, Cantor. Disney is looking to not only sell ESPN but also buy out the NCAA to create a college sports network.
Ooh.
Very 100% genuine. Like I have a reliable source on this one.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know why you haven't tweeted this yet.
Yeah, no, you gotta.
I thought I did.
I don't know, because like I knew ahead of time that Frankie Muniz was getting on Dancing with the Stars from a reliable source, and I tweeted that. But my source also told me Amanda Bynes was going to be on, which was incorrect.
Okay, but
And so I was
what year was this?
this past year,
Okay,
summer
I was going to say
2017.
you should have known Amanda Bynes was not going to be on.
Summer 2017. No, because this was like right around when she was like starting to make her comeback.
Oh,
so
okay.
so I'm like, oh, this may be a thing. And my source, I should have taken into account that my source has very close connections to Frankie Muniz, and that the Amanda Bynes is either just him guessing or him being told something by someone that wasn't correct.
Well, they were in that movie together that one time.
Yeah,
What was it? Was that Big Fat Liar?
I don't know.
That was a great movie.
I know Frankie Muniz from Malcolm in the Middle.
That's it.
Yes.
Not Agent Cody Banks.
Nope.
Not Big Fat Liar.
Nope.
What else was he in? He was in a lot.
All right.
Yeah. Should we talk about like how I know this is like a worn out topic at this point, but we might as well since it was yesterday. How they ruined Selection Sunday.
I mean,
I didn't
sure.
watch
I was
straight up did not watch.
I didn't watch. I was busy at rec ball. So.
Oh Christ! See, why'd you do that? Now
we have to go straight into it.
Well, I mean, I can go through the entire progression of this and end up segueing us back into basketball. So I'm gonna just give my life story here. For those of you who don't know, I'm an avid rec ball guy. Run a Twitter account, local area. I know Burgh muted himself. He doesn't even want to be a part of this. Wow.
Oh, I was going to do that too. He beat me to it.
All right, go ahead. I know an enemy of the website, certainly not someone who prides himself on knowing Burgh at all. Anthony DeBondo just happened to be born a year before me, and therefore locally I am unfortunately regarded as his inferior, just following his steps on the path.
You're his mini-me.
Yes, essentially that's what it is. In fact, I'm so much mini him that I won the Anthony DeBondo Award for service to the Rec Ball League. So that happened. And I also, ironically, am wearing a Syracuse sweatshirt right now, even though they should not have made the tournament. It's ridiculous. The whole 2-3 zone joke, we can go into that. But that's why I was watching the selection show. Rec Ball, I just want to also, before we get into anything else, personal wise, I want to shout out the intern, because while I was at Rec Ball, he made he came up with an incredible idea. Very proud of him. The t-shirt giveaway for the bracket. Really like it. I think that he deserves a lot of credit for that. And
for doing it behind your back, though, that was a hell of a move. It
was a ballsy move. I'm gonna give him props.
Wait, can we go over the text exchange that led to you finding out?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Intern tweets this from the account, and immediately Tyler Sandora texts us and says, "I'm going."
Future Burgh writer Tyler Sandora to you.
Future Burgh writer Tyler Sandora.
Wait, so Tyler Sandora is officially getting the Scott Chandler treatment?
Well, was Scott Chandler always future New England Patriot?
No, he's former Buffalo Bill Scott Chandler.
Oh,
Like future Philly Mike Trout. Yeah, that's what we're getting.
Or future Patriot Hunter Renfro.
Yes.
Well, you can't. I've learned that you can't do that anymore because look, my time hop for the last few days has been my crusade for the Patriots to draft Christian McCaffrey and then them trading away their first round pick for Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks?
Yeah, but then they signed Rex
someone else?
Burkhead. Yeah, it was Cooks.
Yeah. No, but they needed to draft Christian McCaffrey. It wasn't about filling a quota. It was like this guy coming out of college, and you knew that he had to be Patriot.
Mhm.
But I guess the more Patriots thing would be wait for the Panthers to cut him because he has some debilitating injury and then sign him, and then he'll have an incredible first 3 games and then he'll get benched.
Or what they did with Deion Lewis, which is just wait for him to pull a fire alarm, get cut, and then sign him.
All right. Anyways,
So Tyler,
back to the way.
future Burgh
See, I
development.
told you it would be very quick to bring race into it.
How quick?
Quicker than Patino.
So future. Wait, something came up in another browser and it like brought my screen to that, and I thought Ray kicked me out. But so future Burgh Devel writer Tyler Sandora texts us and says immediately, "I'm going to win this T-shirt." And Ray says, "What are you talking about?" And then you just get a shh text from intern.
It was a real insane move behind my back. This one paid off, so no harm, no foul. I guess on this one. I also wanted to shout out my man Big Z, Giants Wizlag.
Yes,
So that's how you say it.
14th fastest freshman in the entire United States of America.
Really?
So, yeah, mile run, winter track nationals.
I wonder how that kid Nick Bogatis came in that race.
Wait, what?
Wait, you guys didn't know about this?
No.
There's a high school sprinter in Maryland named Nick Bogatis.
Big Z's not a sprinter. He's a miler.
And he couldn't look any more different than me if he tried.
Is he like tall and blonde?
No, he's about 6'4".
So he's tall.
African American kid.
Okay, not blonde.
About yay thin. And
I was thinking skinny.
And I think he has longer hair too. But yeah, and he spells Bogatis differently. And I'm not sure how he got it, but yeah.
Does he spell it like Bogadaeus?
No, I think it's actually like Bogatis. I think it's BOO.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, congrats to him for being fast. Congrats to Big Z. But regardless,
you can't just that's Carlos Zambrano. You can't just give out the Big Z nickname.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just having flashbacks of Carlos Zambrano.
Yeah, why you gotta do that? Now I'm kind of sad. I think I miss Carlos Zambrano.
Yeah.
Okay, well now
I'm a big Johnny fan, especially in his War with Huge MLB fan. But you can't just give people Carlos Zambrano's nickname like that.
All right, well we'll figure it out. Regardless, Jay-Z's already taken, so like that's a tough one.
I honestly, Jay-Z is better to give than Big Z.
Well, we'll discuss this at a later date. Going back to the whole rec ball thing, I have been at so many rec ball games. I've also been covering high school sports. If you follow me on Twitter, high school basketball. I've been calling high school basketball games and I've been watching so much Sixers and college basketball that probably at the worst possible time in my life, I think I might have decided that I'm tired of basketball.
Wait, so is this the second time in a month that we've had someone say that they are growing dissatisfied with sports here?
I don't hate sports. I'm just run down with the idea of watching basketball.
It's actually like very cleansing of the soul. It's like yoga.
I'm just run down from basketball. You know, I feel like I've had so many basketball responsibilities that like I'm going to be honest with you. I have looked at the bracket maybe twice.
That's shocking. See, I'm viewing the bracket as a
Is Penn gonna
responsibility.
win? Because I think Penn's gonna win.
Dude, to please talk me into it. Talk me into it. Last night I spent I spent like an hour last night talking to a huge MLB fan, just saying like listing all the reasons why it would happen. And then one of a person I know from TCNJ who lives around you was texting me about how he's doing a 538. He's doing his bracket based on just looking at 538's win probability and just
That is
doing
the
all
wrong
favorites.
way to do it. You should
No,
fade
no,
it,
no.
if anything.
No, because he normally does it like that, but he said he's a fan of Nate Silver, so he always wanted to do that. So he has like 3 different brackets, so he's just doing one.
Wait, who is
Derek,
this?
Derek,
I need to
Derek.
talk to him.
Derek is a big Nate Silver fan,
Okay.
but
We're gonna need to have an intervention.
but
Also, I don't know.
so
I know we don't have this capability, but I would just love for Ray to be able to throw up that picture of Nate Silver after the election.
Ray probably could if you give him like 30 seconds. Oh wait, 15 seconds.
But anyway, I have watched.
Also, wait, shout out for Tyler to naming his fantasy baseball team. What is it, Quick Rick?
Is it really? I haven't looked.
It's a Rick Pitino joke. I forget what exactly it is. But no, so I was talking to this kid today about how like they're gonna do it, and he also is like very tempted to pick them. And Seth Davis is just tweeting out his BS, but his BS is that Penn has a chance to win. And I'm getting to the point where, you know how like on ESPN, and I think pretty much any site you can like, if you click on like a matchup, you can get like more details.
Yeah.
Penn's last 10 record, I think, is the same as Kansas's. So I'm now using that.
Wait, Kansas is a 1 seed?
Yes.
Are they even good?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I mean, I haven't followed as much, but I'm pretty sure Nova and Virginia are kind of above everyone else.
See, this is
like,
my. You go ahead.
Because Xavier didn't look good over the weekend. But
yeah, Xavier. I still haven't decided on my team. I'll decide by, I guess, tomorrow night.
I'm picking Nova. I'm just because I enjoy. I want to root for them, especially now because I've gotten into this Philly school debate with Addison, and I was looking at a bunch of bracketology updates throughout the day Sunday, and Lenardi and the CBS guy had Penn, which Penn should have been a 15 seed, but they had Penn as a 15 seed, and I was more than ready to pick him to beat a team like Sincere Purdue, or even Xavier if it was like a 16-1 in that regard. And Kansas is just so tough, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
So here's a few of my takeaways. I have watched exactly 72% of one Penn basketball game, and I am officially all in on them beating Kansas.
Are we going to see it? Yep.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Second.
Wait, I'm saying hi to myself.
Oh, that's me. That's me. Second of all, this has inspired me to create one bracket. What?
No, I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back.
Second of all, this has inspired me to create one bracket and I just fade Nate Silver. I think I can get pretty far. Thirdly,
I'm gonna text him that.
Yeah. Last year I pretty much picked the entire bracket blind, and I actually did pretty well. We came close to winning.
I remember that
because a large amount of money.
Yes, because my dad was in a pool where every person got 2 entries. So I did one, and then I didn't want to be the guy with 2 brackets, so I had you put yours in, and it almost won.
Yeah.
All right.
I came and I don't know what he's doing. And final point. I'm coming close to picking my team. It's down to 3. Although I'll be rooting for South Dakota State no matter what, but they're not a contender. So, my final 3 teams: Xavier, Arizona, and Michigan. I'm not sure which I'll be rooting for yet, but those are my teams.
I'm picking my bracket right now, so just give me some time.
But yeah, Penn's gonna win.
Yeah, the one thing that along with Penn just making it that much harder for me or the committee making it that much harder for me to pick Penn, because I was ready to pick them in the 15 too. I spent I spent all day, all weekend looking at like every bracketology having Oklahoma and just telling myself no matter what I pick against them. And then I also spent the weekend watching Rhode Island play, and I thought, all right, they're not playing well. Pick against them no matter what. I can probably get a cheap 7-10 or 6-11 upset, and they're playing each other. So now, in my mind, I either pick Oklahoma and it's, oh, you're stupid, you're just doing that because I have Trae Young, or, oh, you're picking Rhode Island, you're basic, you're picking the higher seed.
Yeah.
So
Also, getting away from the bracket for a second, I am deeply offended that I received not only not one thought or prayer from Ray as I descended into darkness over championship week.
he's talking about the thing that we do not encourage.
As I was texting his brother all week about information in the Atlantic 10.
I was not passed along any information.
Huh?
I was not passed along any information.
Wait, it was.
You should have known. You know me well enough.
Which you had SJ, you had St. Joe's plus 8. I think it was Saturday, right? That they played.
Yes.
So
come on.
They covered.
You know what's about to happen. This podcast formally does not endorse any gambling of any kind,
especially March Madness.
Wait, we'll pull an OJ. Stop. We'll pull an OJ. So hypothetically speaking, this is me bringing it up. Yes. Hypothetically, you had St. Joe's plus 8, and again, this is all hypothetical.
Wait, how do you know about this?
Not intern. You sent me. You hypothetically sent me a picture of the games you were going. So I was texting intern separately because I was texting him about the Ivy game I was at, and I was like, I told you that you should tell intern that you picked St. Joe's because he was stressing about that game, and you're like, where do you think I got the information from?
Oh yeah. So my point being that I was very interested in who would get the automatic bid from the A10.
Yeah. Well, because that Baylor didn't get in because of that.
I knew nothing about bracket talk. Okay, so
the one game,
Addison and Jake are big on bracketology. For both of their schools, they write columns and do whatever based on the bracketology. And they're talking about Q1 and Q2 and Q whatever. That kind of lost me. I usually get into bubble talk, but once you throw in okay, we're gonna base this on math, I'm out on that. So basically, I spent championship week really getting into, because I've never really gotten into championship week until this year. And I was really getting into the auto bids, and I was big on South Dakota State. They're now one of my favorite teams.
First round exit.
So I was so enchanted with the A10 that I was texting his 12-year-old brother about it. And there was no concern coming from Ray at all.
I have to be honest with you. I had no idea. If I knew that you got that invested in the A10 that quickly, I probably would have called someone. I probably would have done what you should do if you have a problem.
A problem with what? This is all hypothetical.
I was just talking about getting, working out the math for auto bids.
Yeah, I understand. However, if in a hypothetical scenario you have an issue with gambling on sports, again, this podcast does not endorse sports gambling or gambling of any kind. If you do it, please reconsider your actions. And if you have a problem,
you do not have to say that if you preface it with hypothetical.
Yes, I said if you do that.
Did you? Yeah. Okay. Just
if you do that, please consider your actions. And if you have a problem, don't hypothetically call 1-800-GAMBLER. Please actually call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cantor, we're going to have to take a trip down to Delaware.
Yes. Hypothetically.
They have very nice beaches.
Rehoboth. That's the one beach I know.
No. I've been to Rehoboth, not my favorite place.
Is it not? That's the only one I know.
Also, one of our good friends lives in Delaware.
Who lives in Delaware?
The Moose.
Oh.
I'm picking Stephen F. Austin to win.
Oh, I also have. I think South Dakota State's a 15 seed. I have them winning in the first round.
South Dakota State?
Yeah,
They're
the
12.
Jackrabbits.
Yeah.
Huh?
South Dakota State's a 12.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, they're playing Ohio State.
Then that's the only 12-5 I have. Because 12-5 is such a basic thing, but I didn't like any of them this year.
12-5 is basic, and I remember it was 2 or 3 years ago where every 12 seed won, and then I think last year none of them won.
I'm also my first time in the cubes for March Madness.
Is there an office pool?
There is. I don't know if I'm getting into it, just because I'm only in the office 2 days a week. But I am not excited about this.
No, I feel like this is the one time where it's almost somewhat fun.
It's not when people are like, I don't know, maybe this is just me being a psycho, but when people aren't actually.
I know what you're saying.
It takes the fun out of it.
I guess, but I think this was part of my take that said it was something that I found funny, where the difference between men and women in these type of things is men pretend that they know anything and they don't, and then they end up doing terrible. Where you'll have women that openly pick because of just based on mascot color, and they're the ones that win.
That's why I love going in blind. I like to watch championship week to figure out who I'm rooting for. But for the most part, I know nothing about these teams.
But I disagree. I always found myself doing better when I actually followed. I didn't follow much last year, and I didn't do well. I had Gonzaga, but that was just me picking Gonzaga. Was kind of just reading a bunch of things, and normally I
watched
wouldn't watch Gonzaga.
I watched nothing last year. I don't think I even watched. I think I watched. I watched the ACC championship, and that was it. And then I almost won pretty much everything I was in. Yeah. And then I don't know why, but I collapsed at the end. I think I had West Virginia winning. I think that was my issue. But yeah. I genuinely enjoy it more going in blind. Because then I'm not I don't want to be like the Nate Silver types. Where I'm this team has a 63% chance of winning and blah. I just want to have fun with it.
Oh, by the way, as I'm filling out this bracket, I am contractually obligated to remind you that Villanova will lose in the second round to Alabama.
It's not gonna. I have faith in Villanova.
I was so out on Alabama because I watched them against who did they play before Auburn? I don't know. They were playing somebody and they were up 15 points late in the second half, and they just collapsed. And then they won on the buzzer beater. And I was like, this team is awful. There's no chance they win. So then I just figured they would lose in the next round, and then they were up 1 at half and then won by 30 against Auburn. And then they beat who did they beat in the title? Or no, they didn't win the title. They lost to
Kentucky beat Tennessee in the title. So Alabama lost to one.
So Alabama lost to Georgia?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But no,
they looked apparently they're way better than the part I saw them for.
Yeah.
Because they just blew a 20-point lead.
Yeah, I've been in on them since. Do you remember? Because this was a national story. This was a viral story.
Can we talk about? No, I was sorry, I keep cutting you off, but I was just watching the game and they called a timeout and they panned over the sideline and it was Avery Johnson.
Yeah, that's 3 or 4 years. Yeah, he's kind of brought them back, but no, I've been in on them since it was no later than the middle of December. I think it was earlier than that. They were playing, I think it was Minnesota. Shout out Golden Gophers. And there was a brawl where Alabama's bench got ejected, and then so they were playing with 5 players, no bench, and one of the guys they had fouled out, and then the other guy got hurt. So they played 3-on-5 for 10 minutes. It was Colin Sexton and 2 other guys, and they almost won. They were down 10 or 15, when it started, and they cut the deficit to 3, and they had.
No, it's crazy. I don't. It's March.
I'm ready.
Also,
I need
what a loser move! What a beta move by Rothstein trying to trade market.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I'm so out on
also. Wait, so Ray, you obviously, I got a text from Ray Ravel last night saying that he was considering reveling this year.
I still am considering reveling.
Come on.
You're filling out a bracket right now.
I don't know whether I'm going to finish filling out this bracket. I'm sorry.
Rick Pitino would finish filling out that bracket.
I remember when I used to be like a psycho about it and used to fill out like 20 brackets, and now I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna join. I think I'm in 2 or 3 polls, so I'll fill out.
You always have the pools you care more about.
Yeah, like no, these are all equal. I'm like, all equal money and all equal like people I want to destroy. So yeah,
Are you in Addison's?
Huh? Yeah, I'm in Addison. But yeah, so we'll see. But it's just like,
again, this is all hypothetical pools that we're in with hypothetical money.
Yeah, that it doesn't actually happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like a lot of people suck the fun out of it from both sides, like the like hyper like ESPN people, like the Lenardis and the Nate Silvers, and I guess Darren Ravel's kind of in that category, even though he's not. He doesn't fill up brackets, and then also like the people that know zero, you know. So.
Oh wow. I'm getting all my 1 seeds out of the way really fast.
Are you getting Kansas out of the way in around the 64?
No. I wish. By the way, Golden Knights up 2-1 on the Flyers.
Yeah, I saw
Continue. that. No, I do want to do away with them in the Sweet 16.
Ray,
are we seriously doing this right now? Wait, do you have a Sharpie in your hand? Are you doing this by hand?
No, I'm not. I just happen to have the Sharpie in the room.
Wait, Ray, are you getting our messages right now in Google? A friend of the show wants to come on to address a crime you've committed.
Speaking of friends of the show, I am deeply offended. I still have yet to be invited onto the AnyPod to discuss.
I'm terrified about this week because it's literally just we normally record it Thursday nights, so it's literally just going to be us watching a game and reacting, and it's going to be awful. So listen to that because that's going to be pretty hilarious. It'll be similar to when huge MLB fan was reacting live to Cornell as they needed like 4 different things to happen to get into the tournament, into the Ivy Madness.
Episode.
Yeah,
you guys edited nothing, and I gotta say, you do bring great content to the show, but you are not cut out as a host.
Oh, I'm not. We're in a fantasy draft right now. I already picked a guy who I consider to be a prospect in Yohan Moncada. I'll pick another prospect or 2 at the end. I'm a prospect.
But I'm also, I know I texted you this, but this needs to be addressed on the show. I'm so deeply disappointed that you had every opportunity to tell huge MLB fans that no one cares about his fantasy. And you just talked about his fantasy team for about an hour and a half.
Yeah. Well, I'll have a chance to right that wrong on many occasions.
And we touched on this last week. Were you on the show last week? No, you weren't.
No.
We touched on this last week.
Probably half of it.
It is my belief.
I turned it off when you started trashing the Rockets.
Okay. It is my belief. Annoying. Huge MLB fan is one of the least self-aware people on the planet.
I see him as a person or him and his huge MLB fan?
No, him as a person. Well, like taking into account his persona. he is not the least bit self-aware. Like he'll be like calling people on the Facebook forums an idiot. Meanwhile, like he is in a Facebook forum.
Fun fact, he invited me into that. I'm in it.
That's so tough. And
I don't buy he doesn't. In fairness, like there's people in that forum that like because I get notifications from it, and it's literally just 3 people, and there's probably like a few hundred people in that forum.
It.
No, I don't think he did. Because there's probably a few hundred people in that forum. I get notifications from literally 3 people. It's the same 3 people that always post stuff in it, and it's just them sharing undisputed videos and like either like preach or this guy's crazy.
All right, so Addison's joined the show and he's glowing for some reason.
I have.
Flyers just tied Vegas, baby.
Okay.
I just.
Okay, and his connection is god awful. Nothing new there. Apparently, he has a bombshell to drop, so I guess I'll let him go ahead.
Yeah, I was just made aware of a Cardinals segment committed by Burgh host. Ray, would you care to explain your choice of sweatshirt there?
I was out. I got home. This is what I had on. I turned on the live. This is what happened.
You know, let's just say something for a second. I don't know if we discussed teams that should or should not have been in the NCAA tournament yet.
I talked about Oklahoma briefly, so no.
Wait. Time out.
Can we get into 2-3 Addison's?
I said on this show earlier that I don't think Syracuse should have been in the tournament. It's a joke.
As long as you can admit that to yourself.
Okay. I would also like to disavow Addison and his hatred for the 2-3 zone, despite his favorite team being a proponent of it.
Listen, I'm at that stage
I have also yet to determine whether I will reclaim my Duke fandom this year, but I'm leaning towards no.
When did you have Duke fandom?
Normally,
I've been like a dormant Duke fan for quite some time because growing up, JJ Redick was my favorite player, and I actually was
what a guy.
I was a fan of Duke growing up because my rec ball team was the Blue Devils, and I was a big Duke guy. I was even a big Nolan Smith and Kyle Singler guy, but as the years have gone on, it's kind of subsided. But it's remained. It's like a volcano. Like it's not active, but it could erupt at any time. I was a big Luke Kennard fan, but I wasn't like actively rooting for Duke, and I really like Grayson Allen. I love he's a great guy. And apparently I have watched no Duke basketball this year, but apparently there's a guy that I should really like, and Alex McConnell.
Yes.
So I think I'm going to be a big fan of his. We'll see what happens.
He's a goat, freshman, future Grayson Allen.
Okay, sounds great.
So, the hypocrisy thing, it's a valid point, but
it is the only point.
I've been talking myself out of Duke because they're playing a 2-3 zone. When Duke plays a 2-3 zone, that's a problem. That's an eye roller right there. Duke's not a zone team. Coach K doesn't like to play 2-3 zone. And quite frankly, there's no reason why 2 guys who are going to be drafted in the top 10 can't play man-to-man defense. Like, I don't know what went wrong there.
Who's getting drafted in the top 10?
Bagley and who's the other guy?
Carter.
Marvin Carter. Or Wendell Carter. I said Marvin Carter. It's a TCNJ guy.
So I am going to come up with every reason to not pick Duke to win it all, but yet I'm still probably going to pick Duke to win it all.
Duke UNC. Heard it here first.
You see,
Sorry, go.
I'm usually out on picking the previous year's champion to win it all. Because if you look at the tournament, if you look at the history, the tournament champion from the previous year has not fared well in the tournament the next year. Hasn't made it past the Sweet 16.
Breaking news from 20 hours ago.
What?
Anthony Dubadundo. Am I the only one who liked the new selection show format?
Yes, I saw that.
Quick answer is yes.
I actually didn't think it was that bad.
It was.
It's been.
Audience.
Thank you for joining us, Addison.
No, wait, hold on. Addison, speaking of Philly schools, how on a scale of 1 to 100, how close are you to picking Penn to beat Kansas?
You know what? it took until Selection Sunday, but Philadelphia finally got its one team in NCAA tournament. And nail-biter win over Harvard. You know, I'll be rooting for Penn. I don't think it's going to happen, though.
All right.
I don't think it's going to happen.
That's
The
not
one
what I want
upset,
here.
the one upset I'm inclined to pick, though, Georgia State over Cincinnati.
See, is that like, because I don't know anything about the current Georgia State team, but I just see Georgia State and Ron Hunter, and I want to pick them.
It's not that it's Georgia State; it's that they're playing Cincinnati.
That's fair.
Cincinnati's fake news in March.
That was again. These are all.
I also have a bone to pick with you because you're anti-Xavier.
I'm not anti-Xavier.
You are so anti-Xavier.
How am I
I've seen it
anti-Xavier?
all over the Twitter.
Look at my preseason Final Four. I had Xavier in it.
Okay, first
Wait.
of all, Xavier.
Wait.
You were in favor of stripping them of a 1 seed.
I said if Duke won the ACC, that Duke should get the 1 seed over Xavier.
And
which is
did
a
Duke win the
very-
ACC?
No, but if
Okay, then.
Duke didn't get the 1 seed. I'm saying if Duke won the ACC, they should have gotten the 1 seed over Xavier.
Well, they should not have.
What argument do you have against
JP.
that?
I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but JP Makura. Makura.
He's a goat.
Makura, which is just ridiculous. You can't just go and add an H to a man's
I
name.
can't wait for the Xavier Zags matchup in the Sweet 16.
That's
Xavier.
gonna be
Say
fun.
it with me. Xavier. Like Xavier Nady.
Xavier.
Okay.
Why did you just quote my tweet and at Dave Melandra?
Hold up.
It was
I have
relevant.
a better question. Why is
Oh,
Nick private on Twitter now?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I should comment on that.
But you have to. You
It's
asked.
temporary. I can confirm that.
Don't tell me it's a job thing.
I'm not going to tell you that.
It's JOB, isn't it?
Wow.
No, not for a current one.
So
Oh.
temporary as in the next 3 years?
No.
Someone's applying for summer internships, aren't you?
No, actually a volunteership because everyone is awful. And even though, well, I applied for a summer internship and ended up with a spring internship, and that didn't bode well because everyone's already hired for summer internships.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
yeah.
Burnt.
Yeah.
I forget what I was going to say.
Oh.
Yes.
Refresh Twitter.
Refresh Twitter.
This
Oh,
has got to
man.
be
Oh, no.
worst runs we've ever had.
Oh, my God.
What is it? I don't see it.
It is.
Oh
if you just
my
look
lord.
at Nick's recent tweet. Okay, so I sent out something about 5 hours ago asking if anyone has any pieces of journalism that will further talk me into picking Penn. Our friend Nick Bogatis quoted quoted it with
I'm on the verge of tears here, folks.
Nick quoted it with an at Dave Melandra said sup, and David responded 31 seconds ago and said, yes, what can I help with? As if he didn't see the original tweet asking what he could help with.
Oh, God. So it appears that not much talk about sports has been happening.
Well,
No,
Jake Arrieta signed with the Phillies.
yeah, that was actually that's probably the one thing that we
I'm
haven't
actually
gotten into that
crying.
we should. Oh man.
No exaggeration.
Wait, hold on. Addison Andre. Nick's the only one that doesn't care. Do you think, because there's some, I think it's dumb that people have this opinion, but there's some people that think it's too much for a 3-year deal. Are you fine with them
No.
paying him? Okay.
Don't they have the lowest salary?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lowest
next-
salary
yeah.
prior to that?
Okay. Yeah, no, they do.
Yeah.
They did.
Lowest
It is-
payroll in the league, and
Yeah.
you are one of the more wealthy teams in the league with a big market. I don't care. It's not my money being spent.
And they front loaded it, like he's getting 30 of it this year. And only
I saw that in the group chat, and I never got like a notification or saw it on Twitter or anything.
I guess you have. They made it. It's official today. R.I.P. Tommy Joseph got DFA'd to make roster space.
Wasn't he pretty good?
Throwback to when I almost heard of Tommy Joseph.
Wait. He's the one that I thought was the White Sox pitcher, right?
Yes. He's the guy that looks like he's 57.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had 25 or 20 homers and like not that many at bats in 2016. And then he just never put together last year.
From Howard so badly that they fell in love with Tommy Joseph.
No,
I'm also very excited to. Well, I'm not excited at all. I'm not excited at all to see the Pirates in Philadelphia. But I am excited to make my return to Citizens Bank Park.
When is that again?
It's the weekend of your birthday.
Oh, yes. Just wanted to point that out. In case any of our loyal
happy
listeners,
birthday in advance.
In case any of our loyal listeners wanted to, send a little birthday shout out my way.
Well, no one's gonna take the time out. No one's gonna take the time out
to
check the Philly schedule. My birthday comes my birthday comes before Ray's, after yours.
Yeah.
Well, nobody watches the show anyway, so it's not really.
This is Ray's last couple months of childhood.
Oh yeah.
Big step.
Last 6 weeks.
Big
in the home stretch.
Got to commit the crimes while you can.
You don't get tried as an adult.
Do we have to put a disclaimer out there for committing crimes as a kid?
No, this is hypothetical. This is all still hypothetical. Oh wait, speaking what a perfect person.
Oh, okay. I actually didn't watch it at all. So Addison, you need to fill me in here.
Nick, it's literally just him telling the story of how he how he killed them, and then every 30 seconds saying it was hypothetical.
So I will say this. It was a very anti-OJ show, anti-OJ panel.
I just got a DM from Dave Melandra. Quote, what you want to know about Penn, unquote.
Ask them where they play. Also, I had no idea the Palestra was Penn. I thought that was Villanova.
Nah. Wait, you've been on Nova's campus. You've been in the pavilion before.
Well, they both start with P.
Yeah, but one's a Cathedral College basketball, one's at a Catholic school that is not in Philadelphia.
Which one's which?
You're welcome.
Correct. Very correct. So anyway, back to the juice. Very anti-OJ panel and show. You could tell it was produced and framed as a confession.
And spoken as a confession?
I will say, listen. I will say, it was not the best.
Not good optics.
Not a hypothetical good optic. But at the same time, you have to realize this interview was supposed to be released before his book was supposed to go on sale back in 2006. And because he lost the rights to the book and the Goldmans got the rights and changed the title and everything, the interview was not released. So
the book was not good optics either, from what I understand.
How do you explain him using the telling the hypothetical story, but within the hypothetical story using the phrase "I remember" on several occasions?
Yeah, so I'm gonna say this.
Also, wait, pause. Major plot hole here. Why?
I think it
Double Jeopardy. He knows he's good.
It was the premise of the book.
Well, he also he probably only agreed to it at the time because it was going to be released to help up the sales of the book.
He also is not he is not and was not in need of money though. That's the interesting part to me. he doesn't strike me as an overly greedy person, although he does strike me as a raging psychopath.
Yeah, he definitely has something going on up there. Like if you were him, like
Okay,
that,
wait.
like
Can
that's
we
okay.
can
No,
we
let
get
me ask this
serious
question
here for a
first.
second?
Let me ask this question first. Let me ask this question first.
Okay.
If you were a average citizen and you saw that interview,
What was that
would
word
you
you just said?
okay,
You
if you
said
were
citizen. You did not. You
hypothetically, you're a citizen in 2006, capable of going to the store and purchasing a book. If you saw that interview before the book was released, would you not be inclined to go out and buy it?
Yeah, but that's not my point. I don't understand why he felt the need to write a book detailing how he would commit a crime that he's claiming he did not commit.
Well, he's been cleared off of committing the crime, so now he can say whatever he wants.
But that's my
Exactly.
point. He doesn't strike me as being greedy or needing money. So what's the motivation here? Is he that sick that he
Maybe
needs
there's an inner
he
guilt
needs to
where he
detail
wants to. Yeah, maybe there's some sort of an inner guilt where he has to.
There's no way that in any reasonable person or any sane person that this clears that kind of guilt.
Well, again, he's not sane. So
Yeah, I know. So I don't think those kind of people have guilt like that. But if we
unless
can
it's like a split personality thing.
if we can get serious here for a second, Addison, do you still believe this man did not do this?
I mean, he did say that there was a Charlie there.
Well, wait, is this actually is this genuinely like your shtick, or do you genuinely believe that he
Listen.
did not do it? No. It's a yes or no question.
No, it's not a yes or no
It's
question.
a yes or no question. Because I can tell you right now that Ray's mentor would say yes. Just for the
Okay, hold up. Let's not go so far as say mentor.
Ray's mentor.
Fine.
Okay, earlier in the
idol.
show you said you were
Ray's
his inferior.
Ray's mentor is going to lose the recruiting battle.
I said
He's already lost.
Addison, not a good look for you so far with the.
Huh?
Regarded as my superior. Never said I revered him as my superior.
Fine. His alleged mentor
Semantics.
would absolutely
what'd you
say
say?
that he is still firm in his belief that O.J. Simpson is innocent of this crime.
Not
However,
a good look.
Addison,
Not a
as
good
a
look for
sane,
Addison's recruiting
as
battle right now.
as the sane, semi-sane, semi-reasonable person I know you to be.
So
Please,
Ray's mentor.
Yes or no? Do you believe? Yes or no? Do you believe that O.J. Simpson is innocent?
Ray's mentor did not watch it yet, so we'll have to hear what he thinks of it. But
He doesn't need to watch it.
Yeah, the optics did not look great.
Okay.
His mannerisms did not look great, but at the same time, OJ is like a very flamboyant.
You're invoking OJ as you refuse to answer this very simple question.
He knows how to schmooze a crowd and like provoke a response.
That's exactly what I'm witnessing right now.
If you watch like the trial and like the videos of the trial, like he knows where the cameras are.
He's not even remotely related to the question.
It is completely related to the question because I think the Charlie thing is what gets me because I do think there was another person involved.
Okay, but it doesn't matter if there was another person involved. Do you think he committed the crime or no?
Here,
Or
I'll help you out here a little bit. Are you more unsure of whether or not he did it than you were 36 hours?
I would say I am now more 55-45 that he
okay. Did. That he didn't?
Didn't do it, yes. I'm more in the middle. I think.
Where were you before?
I was 100.
I was like 100. Yeah, I was like a 99-1. I think he knew about it. I think he was there at some point.
Oh, Vegas just scored with 2 minutes left.
Who scored?
Vegas, baby.
I'm not sure. I just looked up and they were celebrating.
Vegas. I was like,
no, I said Vegas.
Okay. I didn't know if you were wetting the beak on Avalanche. Or no, Biggers got traded.
No. Again, hypothetically, wetting the beak.
Hypothetically. Hypothetically, the Eagles.
So you are. I don't understand. Like I would like to regard you as like a smart person and like a logical, reasonable person. But like, if you can watch that and watch any of the his parole hearing and still be leaning towards the side that he might not have done it?
His parole hearing from July when he got out.
Yeah.
I mean, that didn't have to do with the crime. Like, why would that factor into him doing it?
It would factor into your perception of him in relation to the crime.
I mean, based on the parole hearing, he definitely sounded like a dude who was irritated he was in prison and like definitely wanted to get out. But like he did a good job answering the questions. He started off a little rough, but then did well.
He murderer OJ like actually came out in that hearing.
Alleged.
Okay, alleged murderer OJ came out in that hearing.
Hypothetical
Murderer OJ came out in that hearing.
I would disagree with that.
What do you mean?
If he spoke the way he spoke last night, I don't think he gets out.
Well, yeah. Typically, when you hypothetically confess to a murder in a parole hearing, I know the parole hearing wasn't related to the murder, but typically, when you hypothetically confess to a murder in a parole hearing, you don't typically get parole.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm saying he wasn't that bad at the parole hearing.
Totally unrelated. But didn't he say he was going to start blogging? I'm really disappointed
He did.
I'm surprised someone hasn't thrown enough money at him to start a LeVar Ball-esque show on Facebook or something.
I don't understand. Like,
I would throw money for Burgh to Bell. I think that's plenty of return.
I'm fully aware of the intricacies of the law where he cannot go back to prison for the crime he has already been tried for. However, I don't understand how people are so okay with this man just being in like out on his own in society.
I don't think people are though. People, especially after last night.
Did you see during the Bills game?
Oh yeah, okay. That's
like,
right.
How is this being so normalized?
Because there's
people are as long as people like. Would you not want to take a picture with him?
I'd be kind of scared.
I thought it was funny for a while when he was locked up, and like your whole OJ shtick. Like, I thought that was pretty funny, but like now that it's like real, I find it far less funny. And I also think that in 2016 now, the time we're living in, where people get mad over everything, how are
people are getting mad at it?
How are people not mad that this guy was like
it's
roaming the streets of Las Vegas?
System.
Huh?
Like whether you think he did it or not, like he was his sentencing that sent him to prison was absurd. Like,
no, I completely agree with that. And
no one in the United States of America spends that much time for armed robbery. And when he really didn't do anything wrong. I completely
agree with that. And there's no legal argument I'm making here. But there are very many things out there that are completely legal and all above board that people get absolutely heated over. And this is not one of them. But there's actual murder involved.
At what point, but how would you keep him in prison though, from parole?
I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying where is everybody on this?
Well, I feel like he's kept a pretty low profile. I mean, it's not like he chose to release these interviews. He had no involvement in it.
He gave the interview.
Yeah, but that was in 2006 before he went to prison.
Okay. So he would have been where he is now, except having served time in prison.
No, I'm saying right now, but I'm saying from your point about worrying about him being out in the open, if he's kept a pretty low profile besides the Bills playoff game, he hasn't really done anything.
Yeah, which I'm not sure which is more concerning, but I think we've spent too much time being serious about O.J. Simpson, and I still can't believe you maintain this position. But
it's more 50-50 than it is.
Do you think Providence is for real?
The Friars?
Yes.
I don't think we'll beat North Carolina.
Okay. Right, take it away.
That's a segue.
I'm out of breath. I'm out of patience. I'm out of sanity.
Have this vision on OJ? Do you think Providence is for real?
What?
You went from the most serious conversation I've ever seen you have to jumping into whether or
That's
not
not saying very much.
whether or not a team that you're going to watch for 5 minutes. And
Not true. I watched a lot of. Who was Providence playing?
The Xavier, then Nova.
Yes, I watched pretty much all of the Xavier Providence game because I'm big on Xavier.
Gonzaga's going to get them.
Oh my God!
I'm also big on Gonzaga because they have this one kid. No, the Polish kid isn't there anymore, right?
No, neither is Zach Collins.
They have this other kid who can shoot threes a lot and he's pretty tall. I like him.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
But I think I'm leaning towards Xavier, but I'm also big on Michigan and I'm also big on Arizona because I hate ESPN. ESPN.
I will. Plus, Arizona is actually good.
Huh?
Ray, are you doing the pool or no?
Me?
You missed the part of the show where Ray's debating
the hypothetical
going
pool.
down.
The hypothetical pool.
Oh yeah, the hypothetical pool.
No, you have convinced me otherwise. You have convinced me that it is a cultural necessity to fill out a bracket. And despite my current relationship with basketball, we will continue to go upon as business as usual for March, and a bracket will be filled out.
Sweet.
Addison, that also means I will be Venmoing, or hypothetically, if this
Wait, did
podcast,
you open your Venmo?
not quite.
Okay, very good.
I'm not saying I do have a bracket pool, but if I did,
hypothetically,
you would have to hypothetically Venmo me for it.
Wait, and did you hypothetically receive my?
Yes, I hypothetically received your Venmo.
Okay.
Your hypothetical Venmo.
Yes.
Yes, again, just to clear up our position, hypothetically, if you are involved in gambling, we do not endorse that on this podcast. There will be no betting aside from the hypothetical kind on this podcast. And the members
we
of
can
this podcast,
hypothetically? We can do it hypothetically?
This podcast
Wait, the Panthers have 4 games in hand on the Flyers?
Please.
Wait, are the Panthers in the wild
You're
card?
interrupting Ray's promo.
Please
Anyone
call 1-800-GAMBLER if you do have an issue. Now continue to freak out about how the Flyers are going to collapse and fall apart.
The Flyers are 6 points ahead of the Panthers are the first team out of the playoffs right now. Flyers are 6 points ahead of them, but the Panthers have 4 games in hand.
Also, the Flyers aren't in third?
They are, but still, I look at they are.
When is the regular
How many points behind are the Devils?
I honestly wasn't looking at that. I saw 12 games remaining.
You don't need to be concerned with that if you think you're going to hold your position in the Metro. Addison, you don't get to talk hockey. You're defending a murderer. We don't stand for that in hockey. Hockey's a good, wholesome Canadian sport.
When does the player of the season start?
My birthday is the last preseason game.
This might be my last show too, because I will be in attendance for Penguins Rangers on Wednesday. I have yet to determine whether I will wear my Sidney Crosby or my Evgeny Malkin jersey. Either way, the issue is I would normally go with Evgeny Malkin and avoid the drama. But my Evgeny Malkin jersey is white, so if I do get food and beverages thrown at me, then it won't survive. So I might have to go Crosby just because it's black. And I think that might draw more ire from.
So you're more scared about the MSG crowd than you've been about the Wells Fargo Center crowd.
Well, I've also, when I go to Wells Fargo, I'm typically with 2 men taller than me in Flyers garb.
Look, hold on. Let's not go crazy on that description of me.
Okay.
I'm taller than you.
One man in a bullet is taller than me in Flyers garb. And I also make a conscious effort to be very friendly with my Keystone State brethren. However, we always end up next to a bunch of goons, and it doesn't go well with me. I also do very well at Devils games because the Devils are awful. But and it's a lot of corporate in at the Prudential Center. However, Rangers, I'm going to be a level up from where we usually are in Wells Fargo, so that is not working in my favor. Also, the Rangers are so bad that they're going to be angry, and yeah, so I'm a little scared.
So I think that was enough hockey talk for the week. The Flyers are falling apart. Nick might be attacked at a Penguins game. I think that's enough. I did want to touch on something since we were going to have a productive show at one point.
Yeah, that was a major hypothetical.
Yeah, seriously. Obviously, Sixers Nets game aside, because it looks like they looked really well against really good.
Really good. Team. Well really does good. Not work there.
Well does not work there. I understand. I was curious as to Jason and now Addison on the show thoughts on resting Embiid for a night because of all the minutes he's logged versus the rest of you're not a real Sixers fan versus the rest of his basketball playing career.
You have to, and I think it's even more of a necessity because you've seen him play bad for the last 5 games now. And yesterday he was playing. Jahlil Okafor was playing real minutes for their opponent, so I think that shows what the quality of what their opponent was. They play the Knicks twice. They play the Grizzlies over the next couple of weeks. They play some bad teams. I don't think it's going to kill you if you sit in one or two of those games.
I think you rest him. I think you rest him Friday against the Nets or Thursday at New York. Tomorrow's game against Indiana means too much.
Oh yeah.
I think you're stuck with the Indiana game, but aside from that, I think it's time to sit down and give him a little rest because I think it's showing.
And you also can't just think about the now where like he's looking bad now. You have to think about it where your goal is to be playing for another month to month and a half. And if you're gonna do that, like if he's looking slightly fatigued now, you'd like to get him charged up for an extra 20 or so games, hopefully more. I think the solution is bench. And last night helped because he didn't play the entire fourth quarter, but just a day where he just because I think it was Jim Lynam where he's talking about where there's a mental grind too, where guys just a lot of times don't realize it takes a mental toll on them. I remember Kristaps Porzingis talking about that like much earlier in the season, but just to like for him to go into a game knowing he's not playing and just sit back and watch, I think that can help a lot.
Also, some breaking news: the Dolphins will be releasing Lawrence. Wait, has the league year started?
No, Wednesday.
Okay, so the Dolphins will be releasing Lawrence Timmons. Look for the Steelers to send a contract his way, and then he'll probably be an All-Pro.
And look for the Eagles to send a free contract towards Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah, how ridiculous is that? Wasn't he good this year?
Well, he was okay, but they could just his contract's insane. So,
we got.
Did we touch on Marietta?
Did you guys wait? Are we doing picks for the tournament before?
Oh yeah, we should.
Right now?
I feel like we should.
Yes. Wait, we're doing what?
All right, well, we can go right down the line, starting with Addison.
Wait, what are we doing?
Picking Final Four championship.
Oh, okay. Well.
So this is what I have as of today.
Sheesh.
It could change in an hour. It could change a lot by tomorrow. But as of today, I have Arizona, Gonzaga, Villanova, and Duke in the Final Four. With the Blue Devils from Durham, North Carolina cutting down the nets. I have talked myself into it. I'm probably going to talk myself out of it. But as of today, as of this moment, I have Duke beating Arizona in the championship.
Okay, I lost apparently my bracket didn't save. So Ray, you can go next.
We're going down the line, so Jason would be next.
Oh, okay.
Okay. In our point of views, you're next, but I'll go because I Arizona Nova, same as Addison, and then Michigan State. And I'm trying to take a glance at this West bracket. I will. This is subject to change because I haven't looked at the West much, but I'm gonna go with Michigan for now. And then Nova, Arizona final. Nova wins. And can I give Tyler's future writer, Tyler Sandora, while we're here?
Future Burgh to belt writer Tyler Sandora. Get it right or don't say it at all.
He likes he has his final four is Nova, Virginia, Michigan, Kansas, with a Virginia championship win over Kansas. I know Addison loves hearing great things about Tony Bennett's squad. So
Finals Villanova, Virginia, you're gonna hear from me again.
Virginia is so bad.
You're never gonna hear from me again. That's the final.
So bad. I hate Virginia so much. I hated them last year. Did they even get anywhere last year?
No.
Okay. They're bad. Ray, you go ahead.
Okay. So I just looked at the bracket with actual analytical eyes for the first time. I'd say about an hour ago when you guys started getting on me about my feelings towards basketball right now. So with that in mind, here is the first of many drafts of this one bracket that I'm making and submitting to all the different pools.
Oh, also, real quick, I think I might take LIU over Villanova if they win. I'm a big LIU guy.
Just keep yourself with 1-16-1 and make it Penn. By the way, how much would it suck if because it's going to happen, I'm going to end up pulling the trigger on Penn, and then there's going to be another 16-1 upset?
You're not going to actually pick Penn, are you?
I'm picking Penn.
Addison,
I'm so picking Penn.
You can't pick Penn.
I'm such a big
You don't
Penn guy.
understand. I'm on spring break. I have nothing to do except sit on my computer at 1:30 a.m. and look for reasons. I was telling Nick earlier. I was looking. Do you know how if you click on a matchup and it shows some RPI, BPI, head to head, whatever.
I don't know what either of those mean. By the way.
Oh yeah, he was crashing on
20 years old. A sports fan all my life, and I do not know what RPI and BPI.
I'll give you a hint. The PI stands for power index.
Okay.
But so one thing that really is leaning me towards Penn. And wait, let me click on this so I can give accurate information.
It's the B1 basketball.
You don't seem to be leaning towards Penn.
Oh, I am. Wait, no, because I want to be factually correct.
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
Yes, it is.
What's the R? Rankings?
Wait, where'd it go? Because on the ESPN thing, there was last 12 games. Okay, this is
Razorbacks.
Penn in their last 12 games is 10-2. Kansas in their last 12 games is 9-3. That's some sabermetrics for you.
Roto?
That's some sabermetrics.
Ravel?
Oh my goodness.
Wait, what's the R? Rankings?
But no, to be serious, I was actually going to do it if they got a 15, and you and I were talking about this yesterday. If they had been a 15 and played a team like Purdue or Cincinnati, I actually would have been all in on it, and they deserve to be a 15. They should not be a 16. I saw something, I think according to Ken Palm, they're the strongest 16 seed in 5 years. So it's kind of bull, but
Okay.
It's not even power index. It's ratings percentage index. You lose.
BPI is, I think, basketball power index. I could be wrong, though. Who knows?
I am going to go back to my picks while I'm still standing in first place. I would like to just point out this will probably be changed, considering I'm looking at this and I'm hating myself already. I have Arizona, Michigan, West Virginia, because don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, Nova is out in the second round. Colin Sexton, till the day I die.
I'll let you finish, but did I ever tell you guys the story of how I became anti-Huggy Bear?
No.
Okay. You finish your picks and then I'll tell the story.
And then Duke with a Duke-Arizona final. However, I have it going to Arizona. Do it for Sean Miller, baby.
Got to defeat the fake news at all costs. But anyway, I was big on West Virginia last year, as I am every year, because Huggy Bear is just a spectacle. And I was fully prepared to pick them again to win this year. However, during preseason tournament season, West Virginia was involved in a tournament down in Disney World. Also in that tournament, Marist College. I also do obviously have some contacts still at Marist College, including good friend of the program, Eddie Whitman, manager of the Marist men's college basketball team. And I got wind that they would be in the presence of one Huggy Bear and requested a photo and possibly an autograph or maybe a tracksuit. However, despite receiving numerous stalker-like photographs of Bob Huggins after the game, Eddie went to shake Huggy Bear's hand and he got completely dissed. So out of respect to my friend, I'm anti-Huggy Bear and anti-West Virginia.
Huggy Bear couldn't even be Handshaky Bear.
Yeah, that's rough. So yeah, that was a big hit for me. Basically the reason why I didn't watch college basketball this season. But without any further ado, my Final Four will be coming out of the Midwest for some reason, Duke. Coming out of the East for some reason, although I really wanted to. Oh no, this was the easy one. Texas Tech. And then from the West, although I really did want to pick South Dakota State, I'm going with Michigan. And from the South, I will be taking Arizona, with ultimately, that's a tough one, Michigan winning it all.
I would like to just point out that you have Texas Tech going that far, but you forget they are beating the ultimate Cinderella story in Stephen F. Austin. So
I think Lipscomb might be the Cinderella this year, if not Penn.
Stephen F. Austin.
I have Lipscomb.
Lock him in to win at least one game in your bracket every year.
Lipscomb will beat UNC.
You know the one thing that upsets me
by
about
double
Penn?
digits.
What upsets you about Penn?
Like I told you yesterday, Jason, I always pick the Ivy League winner to go to the Sweet 16 no matter what. If they were 15 and they were playing Cincinnati,
1,000%.
I would have Penn in the Sweet 16.
No hesitation. I completely agree.
I would.
If Seton Hall somehow beats NC State, Penn State could go to the Sweet 16, or Penn could go to the Sweet 16.
You're just acting as if like Penn's gonna. It's already written in chalk. Penn over Kansas.
Oh wait. Speaking of,
it's written in rock chalk.
That was good.
That's pretty good. Totally unrelated to the NCAA tournament. It's the actual Tournament of Champions, as I've seen it referred to. Big NIT matchup between Temple and the city of Philadelphia's basketball team, Penn State.
Oh yeah.
I did not care about this game at all until that tweet was sent.
Do you think Penn State just saw this debate about Nova being a Philly school, which I think is a logical debate that I can see both sides of? I am on the side of like, why not root for them? But then do you think Penn State saw this and was like, let's really get absurd with this? It's the only explanation.
No, it's because of all the Roman Catholic kids on their team.
I think it's a real alienation of the Pittsburgh audience. And I, for one, if I were them, would definitely be trying to break into the Pittsburgh market because there is literally no college basketball team.
The Pittsburgh audience has no business talking about college basketball this year.
Exactly. You go into Pittsburgh, you're walking. It's pretty much like walking into France. The white flag's already up. You might as well take all the college basketball fans from there.
A little historical reference by Ray.
I'm just saying. They went 0-19 in what conference play? What was it?
It was bad. They didn't win.
Ray, I have to warn you here. You know who else thought France had a weak squad?
I apologize for ever trying to get historical. Thank you, Madison.
You know who else tried to get historical?
Thank you, Madison, for trying to join this show and whatever has become of it. As for Jason and Nick probably won't be on next week. Jason will be here.
I might be dead.
Thank you all for watching, and that being 0 of you, we will see you next week.
Oh, Sandora watched.
It's like a running gag, no one watches. Like that. I say it pretty much every time.
I got it.
Thanks for paying attention to me.
It's Ray's way to to
Endear
console
himself to
himself
the
that no